IADC President Lee Hunt is celebrating 25 years of service to IEDC this year, 19 of them as its president. Lee is the fourth chief executive to lead IEDC since the association was founded in 1940. He is also the first president to work his way through the ranks to become chief executive.
I was delighted to be asked to speak to you about Lee's 25th anniversary with IADC. Because I might be one of the few people that met Lee 25 years ago when he first joined the organization, so I have a history with Lee. Since he has come to the organization, it has changed dramatically for the better. He has made great strides in addressing the many issues in our business through all of the committees and the propagation of committees.
When Lee joined IEDC in 1984, the industry was in disarray. Stay alive until '85 was the battle cry, but the industry would not really recover for well over a decade, and then only in fits and starts. Nonetheless, since being named president of IEDC in 1990, the association thrived, prospered, and grew.
IEDC is an incredible organization. It was a good organization before, but Lee and the staff have moved that organization forward tremendously. It is, you know, the organization, if you think about it, in the mid-'80s, and 25 years was before the crunch of '86, it really served a different type of membership and it did different type things. If you look no further than just that the IEDC is not constantly struggling for dues and sources of revenue, which you see at so many other organizations. I mean, the fact that the organization obtains its revenue source from the number of seminars and meetings that it's scheduled that are well received from the industry. There is some dues component, and then now with the IEDC magazine drilling contractor contributing so solidly, it's I think that's a huge tribute that it has a solid financial base.
IADC has always brought solid value to its members, and Lee has built upon those successes of the past to expand into new areas important to the industry. The development under Lee's leadership of IADC programs for accreditation and certification has ushered in a new era of professionalism and competency that continues to expand. One of the most recognized step changes since Lee took over IADC's helm has been the association's dramatic globalization.
With your 25 years with IADC. The first time we met each other was when Ed McKee retired from IADC. Until then, the IEDC was well known in the United States, but not much over here in Europe. We turned IEDC into a real international association, well respected by the regulatory bodies worldwide. You are also a cornerstone for IEDC in Europe. You have an excellent eye for international developments.
The organization in 25 years is much more international than it once was. We had that name there, but primarily it was centered around the U.S. With some presence in the North Sea, and that was about it. And now meetings are held all around the world. Mike, you tapped me to sign on to go to Ho Chi Minh City late next year. As I told you at the time, if you ask me anything far enough in advance, I go, sure, I can do that. I don't have to worry about it. But I think that reflects the organization's international focus, and I think that's very important because, lo and behold, there's not the number of offshore rigs drilling in the Gulf of Mexico that there were 2 years ago, and certainly not 25 years ago. And it's not like the organization has to scramble and redeploy to follow those rigs. The organization almost led the way in spreading IEDC around the world.
In the first year of Lee's presidency, IADC convened its first non-U.S. conference, the 1990 IADC European Well Control Conference. The event was sponsored by Maersk Contractors, now Maersk Drilling, and held in Esbjerg, Denmark. Since then, IADC events have expanded to every drilling market worldwide and have drawn an increasing number of registrants and recognition for IADC.
You understand what's going on in our industry. And another important thing is you know how to get the drilling contractors together without the commercial activities. And for example, the HSE and environmental and drilling conferences your teams organizes over here in Europe. They are of a very high level with the aim to share information on safety and with the final aim to get our curves down, our statistics down.
IADC's accomplishments have not been received in a vacuum. The association has been recognized with numerous awards from regulators and industry organizations alike for its contributions to HSE, well control, for its publications, and for community service.
Lee has brought a lot of prestige to our organization over the years, as most of you know. Many awards have come to the organization, particularly in the last 5 years. Safety awards, awards for our publications. In his 25 years in the organization, Lee has brought probably everyone who works at IADC now came since he came to the organization. And you can see what an excellent staff that he has brought together.
Staffing IADC with quality people and developing and empowering these personnel has been a key priority and accomplishment under Lee's leadership.
Well, one of the great things about working at IEDC is the degree of change and flexibility that comes with working under Lee. I've had the opportunity to work in Europe and the Middle East for short durations, which has helped me improve my ability and my knowledge of the industry to better serve IEDC members. Through Lee's strategic leadership, IEDC has continued to grow and diversify over the years, and Lee has helped the association deliver on its promise to provide global leadership for the drilling industry.
And across the span of 25 years, Lee Hunt has built strong relationships for himself, his staff, and most importantly, for IADC.
I think Lee has, as I mentioned, showed the leadership to bring that organization. In that way, Lee's always been very easy to work with. I know every year he changes his boss. And in the year that I worked with the organization and with Lee, it went very smoothly. Lee and I both are crossword puzzle addicts, although he does the Chronicle and I do the New York Times, sort of like Lutherans and Catholics, if you were. But so whenever I see Lee, he'll often mention, "Did you see that clue in 32 Across or something?" So I enjoy working with Lee.
I have to laugh when I think about my relationship with Lee over the 25 years. From time to time, he gives me a phone call and he talks about his vision for something, a new initiative. Something that's of great interest to him and he thinks would be excellent for the organization. And of course I always agree with Lee because his ideas are great. And then a few days or weeks later I'll be reading one of his documents and I find that I'm the chairman of that new committee all of a sudden. And that's the way Lee works. Lee is a leader. He's a cajoler. He gets people on board. When they don't want to be on board, he gets them on board. He just creates a lot of momentum for our organization and has been the key driver in the organization's success. And I really congratulate Lee on 25 years and remind him on the day we first met in Miami, of all places, in 1984. When he and I were organizing the IADC National Ocean Industries Association Conference, and how wide-eyed Lee was that day, looking towards his future with the organization and wondering if he had made the right decision. 25 years later, by all means, he has made the right decision. Congratulations to you, Lee.
Happy